Hi, this is James Robertson, Syncom Smalltalk Product Evangelist. I just saw this screencast that one of the guys at Sun did to demonstrate how easy Eclipse and Glassfish are for creating web applications, and I thought it would be kind of instructive to contrast the screencast they did with what you can do in Syncom Smalltalk. So let's go ahead and load up Seaside with the Parcel Manager. So we'll bring that up. We'll bring the Seaside web development environment in by right-clicking and doing a load. Now once that all comes in, you'll notice that what happens is the server launches immediately. You don't really need to do anything, it's just there. So I can even jump in and look at some of the examples. So the canonical Seaside example is the counter. I can add, I can subtract, I can go up to say 3. Now watch what happens if I go back twice, and the question I often ask people when I'm demonstrating Seaside is what happens when I hit plus? Well, it goes up to 2. Because what happened is when I used the back button, it actually worked the way people expect the back button to work. I actually rolled myself back those states. I should demonstrate one thing though. If I want to take a look at how that's happening, if I browse class name WA counter, which is the class behind that, the reason that's happening is that we are caching the state. You can tell Seaside whether or not to hold on to state information or not. If you don't want it to hold on to that kind of state, you don't have to. So the nice thing about Seaside, though, is that it makes it very easy for you to have web applications work very much the way people expect them to. They hit the back button, it kind of does the right thing, it just works. Now, let's move on from there and do kind of the simple Hello World example that was being done there. So I'll create a new package, we'll call it My Hello, and in this package we'll create a new class. We'll call this Hello World. Now, in Seaside, you have to subclass eventually from WA component if you want anything to happen. So I'm just going to go ahead with the defaults, and now I have to add a rendering method. So let's add rendering, and I'm going to say render content on HTML, and HTML is the thing that allows you to paint on the canvas. So I'm going to say HTML text, hello there, and that should give me most of what I need. Now the only other things I need to do is I need to do a little work here to tell the system that it's okay to show this. So can be root is a way of telling the system, yes, you can put this at the top level. And then I need to register this as an application. So I tell Seaside, hello world, register as application, and I'll give it a name, hello. And basically what that does, oops, hit Control S instead of do it. So what that does is it registers the URL. So let's go up here to Seaside again, top level, and you'll see I now have hello there. And there it is, it works. So immediately I've got something working. Now to show you how interactive this is, let's push that out of the way, and we'll go back to the source code. Now the nice thing is we're not working in a text file, we're actually working in our source code. So let's change this to hello there you. Try refreshing the page, and there it is. Now again, let's say I broke this. Now this is going to be a little dumb because I'm going to purposely break this. I'm going to try to concatenate a string and a number, which is not going to work. It's going to break in interesting ways. So let's go ahead and refresh. And I'm going to get this because it's going to tell me, well, not an appropriate thing to do to try to concatenate a string and a number. So I'll get my exception, I'll hit debug. Kind of the cool thing though is I don't really need to go ahead and refresh the whole web page to fix this. I can come down here to my code, render content on. Let's find my code. We'll keep going down until we get there. Right here. And you notice here's where I'm trying to do the concatenation. So let's change that to string 1. Fairly silly code, but when we hit continue, we go back to the browser, and there it is. I didn't need to refresh the browser. I fixed the code, I hit continue in the debugger, and boom, it just fixed itself and ran. So there's not this whole edit, compile, refresh cycle. There's this whole edit and run cycle, and if you have a problem, you debug it and just keep running. So this, what I'm showing you is that with Seaside, you bring the power of Smalltalk in terms of its productivity straight into the web browser. So while the Java guys are getting a little close, they're still not really there. So, till next time, have fun with Smalltalk.